Hey legends, this is Magnus. How you doing in this video? Here's my reaction to the, I guess, technically series finale of Bluey Surprise. Hopefully, was posted maybe on Friday or something like that. I'm gonna just take 10 minutes, just like the previous videos, to just give my thoughts on it. So, comment, like, subscribe, share this video. Hope you enjoy it. React to my madness. Let's get started. So, I'm gonna admit, when I first after I made that last video, I was not ready for it. I honestly took a break and watched a different show first before watching it, and I paused and went back a few times because I was not ready for whatever was gonna happen. Um, so the outset of the episode just fine. Blue, um, Bluey is picking up the balls for this toy, and at first I didn't understand what it was, and she's just talking to her mom, asking her like what's it like having kids, and that got my brain going. I'm like, oh, like whenever they do something like this, they're leading on to something. So it's like, are you saying Bluey's gonna be a mom? Um, and I guess we see about that, but then it goes to Bingo. It goes to Bingo being being a pretend mom, and Bandit wanting to being pulled between both all the Bluey and Bingo, wanting to play, and him wanting to watch a game, which I noticed, at least in the, I think that the television, like the race he was watching, was dang it, just like when I was watching the episode, I forget the word. Oh my goodness, what is the word? The word I'm looking for. Oh my goodness. For lack of a better word that I can't remember, handicapped Olympics. It's, at least when I was looking at it, it looked like when Olympic racers who don't have legs, for example, do that race on basically a wheelchair bike, that kind of race. And I'm like, wow, that's all. I would honestly, I might actually want watch something like that someday, because it looks interesting. Um, but Bingo is constantly, I mean, Bandit is constantly pulled between the two, playing these two games at the same time. And to me, that just adds even more on why Bandit is such a great character. And to me, he's probably one of, if not the best fictional dad in all animation or fiction history. He has flaws. He has flaws, absolutely, and he has good qualities as well. It works so well. He's the kind of dad that sometimes I honestly wish, I wish I had, I love my father. I love my dad to death. It's only at certain moments where I'm like, if I had Bandit as a dad, I would love it. like, and honestly, like Bandit and Chili to me are like an epitome of, if I were to ever have children, I'd want to emulate them, or at least use them as an example, to myself, on how to be a better parent every day. Um, then uh, I'm certain that parents likely saw like a message in the kids that Bingo made with these like I think these were soda coolers, like the soda coolers that you often see, like the cloth, and then you put the can or the bottle in it. And she took tennis balls, which I'm certain, like, we've seen them around the house, and I think they used it for their I forget what the exact sport is called, but it was basically when Bandit, Stripe, Bingo, and Bluey were out in this almost mirrored, like, indoor court, or playing tennis, basically going back and forth. So I'm guessing that kind might be a reference to that. But let me tell you, the second I saw what Bluey's toy actually did, or how she looked with it on, oh my goodness. Like, as a Buzz Lightyear fan, my evil Emperor Zurg memories flooded to my brain. And I'm like, I think Ludo almost made a mistake putting that in here because in that episode because, bruh, look, I know there are companies like Adventure Force, Nerf, darn it, I forget the other Busby or Moose. Like there are multiple toy companies. If they don't make a like, I know there are like toy blasters that do something like that, but if they could finally get to what Bluey just introduced, bruh, I'm like, dude, you could not. I'm warning you right now. I should never. If that toy ever comes to real life, I should never be a parent or an uncle, nothing, because I'd be so darn tempted to get my child or my niece, my nephew, whatever, a toy like that, and me and them would just have the biggest nerve war in the house. Like you could not trust me with that. And it's funny throughout. And Bandit's commitment to the bit is just like every other game he's ever done in the show. Oh, he's just completely committed to it, rolls with the punches, and it's so good. Um, and th- so so then let's get through they go through a message about family, what, and a lesson of what it's like to have kids and stuff like that. And when Chili answers, it's hard to explain because it kind of is. It kind of is hard to explain because it's different for every child. But certain moments everyone can relate to. There's always like there's moments in here that everyone will go through. Like many moments in Bluey are stuff that families will go through in one way, shape, or form. But but the lesson of like have family always being there for you, that was a strong message. I love it. And then we get then okay, Bluey puts away her own happiness of playing with the gate with the toy that she had to help to play Bingo's game, which again, um taking in lessons from others and or emulating it or applying it to help other people. She's very empathetic that way, which is why I think Bluey is a very great main character and a great role model for people, for little kids and stuff. But then we get to the time skip. So it was, instead of it being in the last, it was maybe the last minute. So it's longer than I think the others. Um, so I honestly had to pause. I had to pause and rewind a few times because I wasn't ready for what was coming, and I needed to prepare myself. Unfortunately, this didn't get me to cry. This didn't get me to cry, unfortunately. But it did surprise me. So it does a time skip, futuristic. They make sure they have little details where you know it's futuristic. So, and Bluey comes to the door, but we see Chili first, and she's like an older version of Chili. You can tell like she's older, but she still looks great. Bluey looks older, and she sounds so much like her mom. Like she's not just like Chili, but she sounds a lot like her. And and then we get to see Bandit a little bit older. He looks real good. Um, and they mentioned that like Bingo's out back, so she's there at the house, but we don't see her. But we do notice that there's a electric, like a digital frame, like those digital frames you can now have where you show digital photos, almost like a picture frame. And we do get to see a picture of Bingo. I think, I don't know where this is, but I think it was her basically traveling abroad, almost like I said, like I made a slight prediction, and I'll get into that shortly. Of wherever, like in our world, where those big giant heads are, those big giant stone heads, and I forget where that is. I have to look it up. But she takes a picture there, and then it follows with a picture of us seeing Bluey's graduation. I think high school graduation day, which is very nice to see. And following that, they make a hint and nod to the sign, say like as if like a joke, or like, can you believe Bandit almost sold this house? So we can see that they keep the house for years, decades, even afterwards. So So it's like by then the sign was just a joke. Like it's now something they just laugh at. And then um okay, they lead into this earlier in the episode with a prank, a kind of trick from Bluey. So she rings the doorbell to get Bandit to open the door. Then she's hiding behind it and blasts him with the blaster. So when this is done, so in this time skip, the door is like Bandit closes the door, or and then what walks off. There's a door. There's a ring at the doorbell. Opens the door the same way. That got my eyes open. And then it focused on Bandit for a second. Then it pans out just to show the door. And on the right hand side, you see a little puppy. A puppy with this futuristic version of the blaster Bluey had in his hands. And he is ready to surprise Bandit. And oh my gosh, Bluey is a mom. So it was referenced that in there in the episode so early on. So Bluey becomes a mom. Now, and my personal okay, I'm thinking it's two possibilities who the dad is for this kid. I from the look of it, he looks like a boy. I'm guessing it's a boy. But from the look of it, I have two guesses. Jean-Luc or whoever the kid named Chucky is, because Bluey references a character named Chucky that gave her the toy for the day. And as far as I know, I have yet to see a character named Chucky in the show. So I'm wondering who that is. But my first guess is that it's Jean-Luc because of the way that the dog looks. He has one ear up and the other ear is slanted to the side like a droopy ear. And we know that Jean-Luc had droopy ears on both. But the way that the way that his were, it looked almost like Jean-Luc droopy, like that. So, that's at least what I think overall. Okay, so with that in mind, my predictions pretty much wrong. Like I could still be right maybe if they come at it in the future, but as far as I know, I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. I was wrong. So, but thank you, Leo Studios. Thank you, Joe Brum, and everyone who worked on this series. You've done an amazing. You've made an amazing show, and I just wish you all the best. And I hope we get to see more of these characters, this universe, or sometime in the future. And if y'all are thinking of doing a Bluey movie, I'm in. I'm in. I may be a single dude in my young 20s and stuff, but this show, it just I like it and it appeals to a lot of people more than just parents and kids. It's this show is to me very special. So thank you, Legend, so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know down in the comments. I know by now, by the time this video comes up, a surprise has been out for long enough, for a while, and I didn't want to spoil nobody. So, what did you all think of the episode, or what do you think of Bluey as a whole in the comments? Please let me know. Oh, please comment, like, subscribe, share this video. Hope you enjoyed it. I will see you in the next video. I'll see you later.